What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this, we have PM Narendra Modi turns 75. Why he is a unique leader from Sadhguru. Before we dive in, if you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to smash subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and let's get right to it.
Very much for joining me on this broadcast, Sadhguru ji. It's always a pleasure to speak with you. Uh, I just want to ask you, you've seen our Prime Minister who's turning 75 today. Normally, a milestone, every birthday is a milestone, but 75 is rather special.
Yeah.
What do you think sets him apart as a leader? The qualities that you have an insight into.
Well, rarely do you see a man who acts with such relentless commitment and devotion towards what he is doing, which is in many ways his fundamental strength that we always try to inculcate in everybody. It's fantastic that the head of the nation, the Prime Minister of our country, who has inspired 1 billion people into various levels of activity, and the amount of steps that we have taken as a nation in the last few years under his leadership has been phenomenal, nothing short of phenomenal really. Well, people can say, oh, it is also the times that he took the reins of the country at the right time and things happen. Well, times are always there,
Yeah.
always the
Facts.
times are there, but still, even in good times, many people don't do good things. So as
Facts.
a nation, we've moved
I
big
feel
time.
like he's absolutely right. I love that. Times are always there. Right. I don't think there's ever well, sometimes there's a good time to do things. Like there's sure. But I kinda like I guess I hate to relate it with like having a kid. Like I was always so worried financially to be able to afford one. And my wife was just like, bro, like it's never gonna be like a good time. Like you're always gonna be poor. And we had him and he's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. He truly is. I feel myself getting emotional just talking about him. But he is my entire heart. And just to think that, like, had I waited a little longer, because I didn't think we were ready, he wouldn't be here. So I think Sadhguru, when he says that times are always there, it's like, yeah, times were there for other leaders as well. But Modi was the man who made a decision. Modi was the man who went forward and said, no matter what times are, no matter what's happening, we are going to push India forward. And that commitment to his people and that dedication is what Sadhguru was talking about, and that's a beautiful thing. So yes, you could say he came in at the right time, he got lucky, but nah, what does that say? Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Yeah, I truly believe that Modi could have been a great leader no matter what time. Would he have been able to accomplish as much? I'm not sure. But Modi's doing an incredible job.
Time, some of the most significant things are, well, 240 million people have moved above the poverty lane. That's not a small thing.
That's
Because
insane.
right from my very childhood, particularly after into my
Over
youth,
200
I've
million.
engaged with rural populations, and it's always a heartache to see how they live with how much scarcity and how much struggles for small things. And today you can clearly see there's a distinct difference, at least in this part of the country. Maybe still there are parts of the nation which need much more attention and action, but that's a phenomenal thing. And above all, ascertaining the integrity or the sovereignty of the nation, the 370, what we did, that was most important. That's an unfinished job from 1948, and most people thought it would never happen, but it's happened. I hope a few more issues we have with a clear, distinct boundary to demarcate what is Bharat and what is not. I think those things must be settled. I hope in his time he gets to settle these things. And one phenomenal thing that happened was the banking, the Jan Dhan Yojana, where everybody has a bank account. Of course, there are jokes going around, they don't have money, what to do with a bank account? But that means that you don't understand what an empowering thing a bank account is. and
Mm,
how various government schemes and other things reach the person that it's intended for, not an
mm,
agent on the way. I must tell you this, once many a few years ago, I was speaking in Tamil Nadu in one of the towns, and a minister was there, 2, 3 ministers were there with me. And I said, it seems out of 100 rupees, only 10 rupees reach the people, 90 rupees gets filtered. The minister
mm.
is touching me and saying, no, Sadhguru, it's not 10 rupees, only 4 rupees. I said, you must be in the know. Only 4 rupees reach the people. But today, I'm not saying it's everything has changed, but phenomenal changes happen in that direction.
Yeah,
And among the diaspora and generally across the world, as I travel everywhere, the regard and respect with which people are looking at India as what it is today and as a possibility. Well, I don't want to quote GDP numbers and all that stuff, that's not the point. The point is,
I
it's
feel like, yeah, you don't have to. You can see from those numbers, you see the rise in India. But he's like, I don't want to quote those numbers. I think him being in India and then him traveling the world and seeing how people are starting to regard India and see India like that to him, like, and to me, like, shows you the progress that India has made. We all know that India is on a freaking progressive track, and right now they are just firing up at an incredible pace. Um, but yeah, we see India's progression, we see India's growth, and I think there are a lot of leaders in the world, a lot of people that see India's growth as that next superpower. We see the balance shifting, the balance of power shifting, and India is a big player in that balance of power shift.
on an upsurge, it's moving in a momentum, and the deftness with which the geopolitics is being handled is absolutely superb. Never we have handled anything like this in the world. Maybe it is also again the times, maybe we are a different nation today, we can do these things. Previous prime ministers maybe they could not do because they didn't have the power to do it. We can say all that. See, we can say, why Navika passed her examinations first? Because this happened, that happened. No, no, but she came first, that's all it is. So this is how it is. And on this day, when somebody reaches 75 years of age, with such a sense of achievement, and the man doesn't stop. Even today he's
Mhm.
working and a whole lot of activity happening. Well,
Yeah,
that is the most important thing. A human being reaching 75 years of age and with such a fantastic sense of achievement and
yeah.
such love and appreciation all over the world for him, which is truly fantastic. I think it's a momentous day today, really, 17th of September, 2025. And above all, in 2017, he unveiled the first Adiyogi here. I'm standing here. It was unveiled by the Prime Minister. He came here personally and did this on that day. He was somewhere in the UP-Nepal border. He had to address something there. Then he was in Madhya Pradesh, I think. Then he came to a place in Karnataka for some address, and evening he was here and spent more than 3 hours here unveiling the Adiyogi. And since then, this momentum has picked up across the world. Wherever you go in the world, you will see image of Adiyogi. We have not even promoted, we have not even really pushed it, which we plan to do sometime soon, because Adiyogi means not a god, he is the first yogi, the one who
Mm,
brought technologies of well-being to human being, a way of addressing human well-being in a scientific manner, not simply looking up and asking for something. I think our Prime Minister is an epitome of
mm,
that he doesn't look up or down. He, when he wants to take decisions with clarity, he looks inward and acts, and which has done tremendous things to him and to the people of this
yeah.
country. And I feel in the next 3 to 4 years, he will be a very significant person in the world. Already he is, but much more because certain things will happen and
Mhm.
he will be instrumental in making that
Yeah.
happen.
I love that, and that goes back to a verse. And I know most of India is Hindu. But as a Christian, I guess it goes back to a verse to me that says, "Faith without works is dead." Like, yeah, you can look up and pray to God, and you can do these things, but if you don't actually put in any work yourself, like, then it's not gonna happen for you. Like, you can ask Him for so much, but you got to be willing to do your part. My thing is always do what I can do and what I can't do, or control what I can control and what I can't control, give it to God. Because there's no point in me stressing about that because I can't control it. But I have to do what I can do and control what I can control, right? And then leave the rest. I can't just say, "Can you do all of this for me?" No, gotta work.
I think it's a
And I
great
think that's
way.
Modi. He didn't. He's pushing India forward because he has faith, but also he's working. He's dedicated. He's committed. He's working his butt off,
That today
even
he
on
is
his birthday.
75, he's healthy and he's active. I hope he stays that way, healthy, active, well, strong,
You're saying that
and
obviously you know everything about planetary movements, you know about the cosmic energy, you know about the spiritual energy. You've done a curtain raiser. Can you tell us where is he headed, Sadhguruji? Because the whole nation would want to know, where do you think uh, he's headed, really?
He like, I can't tell you.
see, it's an insult to Narendra Modi if we make predictions for him,
Yeah.
because he's a man who works to a plan, as I do. I don't go by predictions. We make a plan and see how to execute it. As a plan, he's clearly told you that 2047 will be Viksit Bharat. That's where we are headed, and he will be an important force in that progression of the nation moving in that way. There are many issues in the country, but I think India is capable of… India's spirit and inspiration is capable of overriding all that, and in that, he is super instrumental that he is there for this. And where is he headed? Uh, Success of the nation is his success. So if all of us stand up and see the nation succeeds, that's his success too, that's our success too.
Yeah. Agreed.
Absolutely. You've seen so many world leaders, Sadhguruji. Uh, what is his signature style of
Mm.
leadership, and how would you describe that in
Mm.
maybe one or two qualities?
Yes, I've met many world leaders, various types, but this is not my nationalistic pride which makes me say this. I
Mm.
must say, there isn't another leader of his stature, of his breadth of mind and clarity, and I've had very long conversations with him at one time, many times rather, and he's that kind of man
Mm.
who can understand anything that you speak about, whether… whatever kind of stuff it is, whether it's technology or spiritual process or social realities, anything that you speak, he's that kind of person who understands whatever, because one great quality about him he's a great listener. He listens to every
Whoa.
word that you speak, and that makes a whole difference. This is
Yeah.
one big problem with most leaders on the planet. They don't listen to anybody, they think they've gotten there and they know it. Like somebody said, I'm the president, so I must be the smartest guy on the planet. So,
Stupid.
that kind of approach is not there.
Stupid.
There is a very, what to say, a profound sense of humility and a very…
Yes.
his humanity is very active with all this ruthless political process that he has to go through. Every 3 months, 4 months, we put him through election rallies. In spite of all that, his humanity is so active and alive, which is not a easy thing to do with the kind of stuff that goes around in the political circles. And
No, I absolutely love that. Like, and I mean no disrespect to the president of the U.S., President Trump, but like, I'll be honest. When I listen to him and when I see him, I don't feel like he has that much humanity there. Like, it doesn't sound like he has a ton of humanity. It sounds like greed, hate, and that's to me. Again, that's to me. There's so many people who love and adore the man, and I'm not. I don't want to disrespect them in any way, shape, or form because everybody has the right to their opinion. Everybody has the right to like who they like, and it is not my position to tell you who who you can or can't like, who you should or shouldn't support. That's your decision to make on your own. Well, but me, I'm just telling you how I feel. Like when I see him, it doesn't feel right. Like in my spirit, I don't know. Something feels off, and I don't like that feeling. I don't think he. But when I hear about Modi and I see the things that he do, and I like he said, I see the humility that he speaks with. And I hear Sadhguru talk about how well-rounded of a person he is, and the most important quality a leader can have, the ability to listen. Listen. That's Modi. And that's like that. I feel like it's a leader that every country would want. He's a leader that every country in the world would want. I absolutely respect him.
And in how many ways, he's gone through every kind of trial and tribulation that a man can go through, and he's come out of this very well on top of that. And 75 years of age, it is a celebration for the nation. Doesn't matter, we may agree with… many people may agree with him, disagree with him. Uh, Nobody need to agree with somebody 100%. But that does not mean you should not celebrate a man's achievement and his commitment and the competence with which his commitment is being executed in the country and in the world is something that nobody can deny, and I don't think any human being should ignore such things, because ignoring such achievements and such qualities is definitely doom and failure for whoever ignores that. Because you have to imbibe that wherever you see it, especially if it's in your for lack of words, I'm saying if it's in your enemy, good qualities, you must imbibe that, because that's his strength. You must acquire those qualities and you also should become strong. I think his commitment, his devotion, his determination, clarity of mind, and his humility and his basic humanity towards everything, where if you as much as articulate something very touching, something very painful in the country, a prime minister…
I don't know, my son's trying to wake up or just get comfortable. I'm gonna keep going. We'll see in a couple minutes.
tears up. That is too much for me, that is too fantastic.
Humility and humanity, how well put by you, Sadhguruji. But Sadhguruji, I also want to ask you, because there are people who think Prime Minister Modi has polarized the country. That's what the opposition really thinks of him, totally polarized the country. But then there are others who think that he's responsible for a cultural as well as a civilizational renaissance in this country. How do you see it, given the fact that clearly some amount of our lost glory from our culture has come back to this nation?
Mm, I like that
Definitely it
question.
has. You see, people talking about polarization is like, if you build a Ram temple, which was
Mm,
long overdue, it's just a shame that it takes 500 years to build that temple. If that happens, people say it's polarization. Why is anybody polarized? If what matters to one community, if they build that, according to Supreme Court orders, why should anybody be polarized? Well, there is no polarization if you want to look at that by fact. Before 2014, every year, how many communal riots were happening, how many people were getting killed, how many bomb blasts happened across the country, and how many have happened till now across the
mm,
country. Most of the stuff that's happened in the last 12, 14 years is mostly along the border, not really inside the country. You must understand,
that's a good
the
point.
one bomb that explodes makes a lot of news.
Yeah.
But 10 bombs that were diffused or
Mm-hmm.
thwarted, that doesn't make news, but that takes 100 times more work to thwart those bombs.
Mm-hmm.
And the forces are working, the agencies are working and making sure the people are safe like never before. And the amount of infrastructure that we have built, people are moving. Integration of a nation is not just by giving speeches to them. If you connect them by…
Sorry, but yeah, I feel like I definitely get where he's coming from, and I think that's the way with positivity and negativity a lot. Negativity is really loud to people, but positivity is more quiet. So There can be 10 positive things happen, one negative, and you only focus on that negative, not the 10 positives. Like you said, one bomb may hit, one bomb, and that makes the news. That's the breaking news front page. But the front page isn't going to tell you about the 11 bombs that were thwarted, the other bombs that before they could land and do any damage that they were knocked out of the air. They don't really tell you just that hot this bomb hit. And it's like he said, it's 100 times harder getting them other bombs out of the air. But I absolutely love Sadhguru. The way he talks about Modi, you just know that he's a great man, and I knew that. But these are just two absolutely very influential um, men, and the way he talks about them, it's just amazing.
Road, by telecommunication and various things. That's the integration of nation. That's happened like never before. Right now, even if you go to a vegetable vendor who transaction is around 200, 300 rupees a day, you can go show your card or your phone, you pay through UPI. When was this ever possible? Do people even understand what that means to the
I don't
nation?
think so.
How nation can propel itself? Everybody who is willing to strive and make something out of themselves, for everybody there is a chance like never before. And it's not that all problems are solved, let us not think everything is solved. No, but no nation has solved all its problems. The thing is, we reduce the problems and new problems sprout up, but the thing is, people are living better, that's the most important thing. You can see in the villages, I've been talking about this for over 35, 40 years. The worst thing that's happening in the country is there is a silent decimation of the population. That is because right from their birth, they have not eaten properly, their very skeletal system has not grown full. Most of the village people used to be like that. But today you come down and see the villages, the youth are much better than their parents. They're built better, their skeletal system has grown better. This is the
Mm,
nation. This is the nation
I think
building. If you don't build the people, how do you build a nation? So, education and other things, lot more things to happen. I have a list of complaints too, but this is not the day and time.
that.
I will give those complaints to me, how many things have not been done. But it's very important on a day like this and an auspicious day like this, we appreciate what is done. If we don't appreciate what is done, there is no momentum to complete the things that are yet to be done.
That was absolutely
Said,
perfect.
as always, master of spirituality, master of articulation, and just master of, analyzing
Hey, this is
people.
not my birthday,
Sadhguruji,
don't praise me, say something about the Prime Minister.
it's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to understand things from your point of view and the insights that you share with us. As always, thank you very much for
Namaskar.
joining me right here on the News Hour. And thank you, especially from all our viewers, standing, just with the Adi Yogi behind you and giving, this kind of a vision to our viewers on this special broadcast. A double thank you.
2017, he unveiled this on the Mahashivratri night, and we're ever grateful to him for that. Thank you very much, Navik.
Thank
Shout out Modi, man, an amazing man, and shout out to Siguru, talking about all the great things that he's done, the great man that he is, and I completely agree when he says to build a nation, you first have to build the people. You cannot build a nation without building the people. So if you, he's saying back when, if you look at certain people's skeletal system, everything, everybody was beat up, everybody was broke down, everybody was hurt. But you go to that same village now, you see their youth with a much better skeletal system, which means conditions are getting better, times are getting better. People are able to eat, people are able to have access to clean water, people are cared about in India. And Modi's not done yet. He's still wanting to do more and wanting to progress the country much further. So that's just absolutely phenomenal. That's all we have. I hope that y'all enjoyed. Let me know y'all's thoughts in the comment section. If you enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, check out the next